Hi, Yukti. Welcome to Wisdom Wings IAS Academy. And I'm your mentor here. And we'll be checking your copy related to some of the copies you have sent to me regarding essays and all. So let's start without wasting your time, and you will be getting a lots of input here. Okay. So you please see this innovative concept of directly checking your copies on a screen and improving it in a very brilliant way where the direct improvement can come to the pupil. So please start. Let me share you on the screen what you have written. Okay. So this is your first question. Starting with the first question, we'll be seeing. So this is the question. What is the relationship between ethics and law? Relationship between ethics and law. Explain with example. It is for the first part of theory part, theory or explanatory question of 10 markers. And in the ethics paper 4 of UPSC, which is of 250 marks overall. And there are around 13 question of 10 markers, that is 130 in section 1, 130 marks. Around 150 words each you have to write. This is the design of the question paper. And the second part, section 2 or section B, you will be getting, this is section 1. Section B, you will be getting section A and B. Section B, you will be getting at least 6 case studies, each of 20 markers. So at least 120 marks you will be getting. So there are 130 marks of theory, 120 marks of case study in general. Sometimes what happens is 120 marks of 12 question, 10 markers each. In section 1 you will be getting, and here you will be getting one more questions, 130 marker. So it is upon the design of the question. But generally it is like balanced kind of a structure, 250 marker, and each part is very important. So it is a little bit different from other sections. So you must understand what is the syllabus, or you must understand what is the difference. And ethics is a very soft subject. Here the theories work, here the interrelations work, here the intra-relations work. And we in our coaching center, we in our mentoring academy directly work with the students, and several of our students are getting the rank in IAS, and they are actually getting to the services also. So how they improve? They improve directly. They don't have to wait for hours and hours and months altogether to get improved, because there will be no direct handholding, direct guidance like this. They will be given indirectly the copies, and the copies will be checked in 10 days, 15 days. But here we are talking about direct copy checking, direct value addition directly on the screen. So this is a very innovative method we are doing here in our academy. This is our very innovation, which we have started as an innovation. So let's start. So let's see again the relationship between ethics and law, and with examples you have to write. So the question seems very clear that it is about the relationship between the law and ethics. How ethics is related to law, how law is related to ethics, and in between you have to give the examples also. So first of all, you need to understand that what is ethics and what is law. If you don't know the difference between them, you cannot come to the commonalities also. So you please understand the difference between these two. So ethics is what? Ethics is the study. Ethics is the study of human behavior, okay, actions and dilemmas in their daily or non-daily affairs. So this is related to the ethics is related to the universal understanding of habits of, what is universal understanding of habits of mankind. Mankind. What is the word ethics made of? Ethikos. This is the basic word. And what is the meaning of? Which is emanating from the habit. So whatever is emanating from habit is ethics. It is universal parlance and universal understanding of human habits of behavior. So study of human behavior in actions, dilemmas, and their daily or non-daily affairs is called ethics in common sense. Now, what is law? Law is the body of codified behavior sanctioned by authority of legality or rationality. So what is this? Codified behavior, rational behavior or rationality expected out of you, which is sanctioned by some authority. So legality will be coming in from constitutional understanding, statutory understanding, parliamentary understanding, rules and regulation and bylaws, or even the codified ethics, while rationalizing it for the law of the land. So this is the understanding of law. So now if you have to make the relationship between two, ethics and law, what will be there? You need to actually understand the commonalities, common elements, commonalities and differences, but making it relatable while eliminating the differences, the commonalities and differences. Okay, that will be the relationship you will be making, and the relationship is good or bad, both direct or indirect, both differences and commonalities, both. So don't try to write only the positive aspect. Try to write all the aspect, critical aspect also. Examples. You must give international example, national example, provincial example, local example, individual example, or experiences of your past, professional example, ethical plus moral also. Understanding. What is morality? Morality is derived from society. Ethics is derived from universal body of understanding. So these are the aspect of examples. Examples is also coming from society, politics, economy, international organizations, international relations, financial. Examples are coming from personalities. Examples are coming from what? Thinkers, theories. What are those theories? I will be talking about them. What are those thinkers? I will be talking about that. We teach theories and thinkers very briefly, very deeply, and we gave the notes also to our means writing students. We are working upon them incessantly, very deeply. So we'll briefly talk about that also, theory and thinkers. What can come as an example? Science and technology example. Dilemmas in that, ethical dilemmas in science and technology. What more? Cultural example, historical example. All these you need to actually make to give the value additions for getting good marks here. So it is not an easy exercise to get the marks, but it is a very framed and very, understanding of the subject, that which dimensions, which dynamic dimensions are creating the good stuff, that you need to understand. And from the thinker's perspective, there are homegrown thinkers, like Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. What more? We will be talking about Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. What more? You will be talking about Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, Jyotiba Phule, Dr. Ambedkar. Many more are there. Jawaharlal Nehru. So historical understanding, modern India, then the modern makers of India, then during the starting of our republic, we were having Dr. Ambedkar, Nehru, Gandhi. Several ideas are there. So those thinkers, homegrown thinkers, then thinkers from Western societies, Western thinkers, that will be more nuanced and that will be very tough to understand, which we simplify it. The Western thinkers, particularly Aristotle, Plato, and many more are there here. Then Carol Gilligan, Nietzsche, then John Rawls, Mills, Rousseau, Karl Marx, Weber, Max Weber, Mary Parker Foley. What more? Various thinkers are there here. Okay. So these thinkers are Western thinkers. We need to care about that also. And we need to write those as an example. Then there will be several dimensions of ethics and law we need to expose here. But let's see what you have written. This was the generic dimension I gave you. How to write, how to treat the answers. Now see your answer. Ethics are set standards of value, morals, and belief in to differentiate the right from wrong. It acts as moral compass to help judge situations. So this word is really good. Moral compass. Moral compass. You can also write moral or ethical fiber. Ethical fiber. So very good words you have chosen. And it is the set standard of value, morals, and belief to differentiate right from wrong. That you can write. Very good understanding you are having. So introduction is well written. You can give the example here itself. Some example of clarifying the ethics. What is ethics? So you can write that. Some of the values which are the part of ethics. Some of the morals, some of the beliefs as the part of ethics. You can write that. Honesty is the best policy. It is accepted as code of conduct in most of the civilized societies of today's world. This is the understanding. Law are certain standard principles, written or unwritten, set under the command of the sovereign. This is also written well only. But again, you will write example, statutory or constitutional or law, rules, regulations, etc. You can give example. What are the laws? You can write about criminal laws, criminal justice laws, CRPC, IPC, certain sections, sedition and all. You can write about that. You can write about articles which gives the power to the sovereign to make the laws based on that. Article 19, 14, 21, those things you can write about here. But you must write some of the typical elements of data, facts, figures, articles, and all those value addition. So law could be unethical too, but you should not start like this. Law could be unethical too. You should start in a very ethical fashion. They are not asking you about unethical. You can talk about law versus ethics. In which sense? Some sense it will be there. So law versus ethics in human relations. We will be talking about that law is not that much in the normal relations, good relations. Ethics will be more important for human relations in generic sense. But law will be important for the societal direction, will be important for rule of law, it will be important for criminal justice, it will be important for what? Creating justice in the society, overall justice that you can write. So law versus ethics in human relation, and you can write about that so that there is a relation or not relation. So relation is what? Relation is that good relation in the society will be made by law and ethics both. So that is the relation one. So you should not write in indirect fashion. Law couldn't be unethical too. No. What will be ethical and what will be law, that relation you should write. And you can give the same example though. Commercial surrogacy is now unethical, but surrogacy is still allowed. So that is the law. That is the ethics of the government. That is ethics injected by the government. Ban on suicide, controlled euthanasia. What is ban on suicide? There is no ban on suicide as per. Okay. Control euthanasia. So euthanasia, you should write about some of the cases. You should write about Aruna Schonberg case here. So example should be very mature, and then it should be understanding, exposing your understanding. Should not be very, very layerish. It should not be flimsy, right? Then ethics is not based on certain law. Obviously, it is not based on certain laws. But you can talk about that it is the traditionality, it is the conventionality, it is the human scientificism, human conscience, and or human rationality. Human rationality will be driving both. So first write about the commonalities, then write about the differentiation. What you have done is you have mixed up. You have started with the negative statement. That is the very dangerous thing here, okay? Risky things. Ethics is not bound by certain law. You should be writing other way. Okay, you should be writing that rationality binds the both. Okay. In fact, they are formed as integral to values, belief, morals, and set by society. Okay, so now you are saying that both are formed as integral. You have written both, but here you are saying that otherwise. So there is a contradiction between both the sentences. So please try to understand that your clarity of mind is very much necessary here. Not only writing will help there. Brainstorming and input management, or the quality of the material you are consuming here, reading here, getting taught by, is needed to improve your understanding. So this I did not like that much. What is the ethical might not be law and vice versa? So poor child, letting a poor child stealing bread. Very caricature, very kind of moral statement you are coming with. Don't come up with the moral statement, because morality and ethicality, difference. Please try to understand that. What you are talking about is morality, not ethics. It can be a very legally banned in some societies. Any kind of thief is a thief, right? There will be changes in laws according to that. But ethicality tells that telling or chiding the child and understanding it, reforming it through the juvenile justice system or child system and all that might be needed. So it is like law that is guiding the force, not the ethicality. But you have written about the morality. There is a difference here and there is an anomaly. Now, law tend to uniformly applicable, whereas ethics forms the base. Okay, uniformly applicable. Ethics forms the base to ethicality. Ethically judge if the law should be applied at all. Okay, that is the relationship. Good relationship you have made. Good enough. But give the example here how you will be trying some example here. Law should be universally applicable. Ethics should also be universally acceptable. That is the formula of ethics. It is not the morality where it will be changing according to the society or individuals. So definitely there, you need to amend this at the first part, but second part is good. But you should give some example here. Ethics are applicable everywhere, unlike law. Yeah, that is also there, but you are contradicting. So what is the biggest problem? You are not segregating the commonalities and differences. That's why you are writing like this mix match structure. Sometimes you are like supporting, sometimes you are disgracing or digressing. So transcending environmental concern. Okay, that can become as like environmental concerns are ethical today, environmental ethics and legal also. So there is a thin line between legality versus ethicality. Ethicality. So legally you can do something, but ethically you should not do something. There is a do or don't do. But some ethicality is based on legality also. Okay. So CBDR RC. Now the ethics of equity comes here. Combined but differentiated responsibility with respected capability. I'm writing fast because I have to check it very fastly. Combined but differentiated responsibility. Combined but differentiated responsibility with respected capability. This is the settled principle now that developing countries must develop, even if the pollution is happening through coal burning or anything. But equity principle says that if you are providing, if the developed country is already developed, because they burnt during industrial revolution, 1750s onwards, they burned the coal and all those things. So they must pay the developing countries also. So that kind of CBDR-RC is based upon ethically but legally bonded. So there comes the commonality. So you should write about the commonality if you want to write, but at the same time, you can come up with some example which are other way around, which are ethical but not legal, like code of conduct, code of ethics. Second ARC says about that ministers should be bound by code of ethics and code of conduct. At present, there is no binding code of conduct and code of ethics for ministers. So what is this? This is ethical, ethically or morally upright ministers are there. They can follow their conscience and not do wrong, but they are not bound by rule of law here. And that's why you will be seeing that there are several kind of menaces, several kind of negative activities are also happening inside the parliament or any other anointed offices. So we should understand the difference between law and ethicality. Now you have come to the conclusion, which is the most important fact of any question. Let's see that. Ethics forms the basis of law and hence help the society with both ethical dilemmas and discuss. But you have written legibility is not there. Please try to write perfectly, Yukti, here. Legibility is not there. So ethics forms the basis of law and hence help the society with both ethical dilemmas and decision making. Maybe you have written. But please write very carefully. You may get the cut off of marks because of legibility issue. It is not like good to write like this. Ethics form the basis of law, hence, yeah, it is generic, but you should write here the way forward that laws should be more ethically driven also, and the ethicality must be legally implemented if that is necessary, or people are inherently bad in the society or at lower levels of their behavior, they must be penalized also, they must be rewarded at the same time. So law, fear for law by the bad man, and respect for law by all. Respect for law by all. Fear for law by the bad man, and reward to do legal things. by government to good man is very necessary. So law and ethics in that parameter falls on one line only, not on separate lines. There are parallels. There are no divergence. There is no cut in between. There is no crossroads here. So ethicality and legality should go together based on the situation, based on the situation. So we can talk about deontology. We can talk about deontology or duty-based ethics. So sometimes duties are bound by the law, what duties you have to perform. And you cannot digress from there, like negligence of your duty or responsibility is a crime legally. But at the same time, it is your ethical duty or moral duty to do your duty also. That is called in deontology. So jurisprudence does talk about the ethicality and the basis of philosophy on which the law is made. So you must be careful about that. So rule of law based on ethical governance parameter will be helping the whole society more in a better growth and development in all round ways. You should write like these in the end. Okay. So thank you very much for writing this. You have done well. I will tell you that you will be getting not more than 3.5 by 10 in this question. Because why this less marks, 35% marks only? Because the standard of examples are not very good. The keywords used are not coming from syllabus, and the understanding of ethical terms, theories, thinkers are missing. Please try to inculcate that and you can enhance the mark to 7 by 10. If you want any more guidance, you can contact me. Thank you very much.